Alright, yo, what's up guys? I'm Alpha Delete and welcome to today's Stellaris stream where we are playing with the Necro-Corp Empire. This is a Necrophage and Megacorp Empire. I gave you guys the chance to vote on what empire you wanted me to play with. This is the one we've selected, and this is what we're going to be starting with today. And so we're going to go ahead and jump over into, let me change my light here, I look really blue. There we go. Alright, so yeah, here's the empire we're playing with here, and I kind of created it. Want to try out something a little differently, and you guys picked the perfect empire, the empire type for me to play with here. And so let's break down our empire. And so we are playing with a mega corporation pharma state mastercraft empire. All right, we're authoritarian and fanatic materialist, and so those I've tinkered with a little bit before. Cool. And we're gonna mess around with this now. For our species traits, we are the Gravenars, and we're going to be tinkering with that Necrophage once again. We went with intelligent, weak, and enduring. Now, my other species has a different type of trait. I was trying to use this species as my more intelligent species. With the Necrophage, only your Necroids can be leaders and rulers of your empire, your original species, and so that we're going to be like kind of playing around with, as well as we convert other species into the same species as like this here. And so let's say we conquer a world that has a different type of species on it, like a lithoid or an aquatic species. Over time, we can convert them into the Gravenars. Now, we'll look at the origin and stuff here in just a moment, but we are going to select this empire first. And then we're going to go to the game details here. And so for everything we have currently set up, we're going to keep things kind of the same, starting with a small galaxy size. And one thing I will change is this time around, I'm going to squeeze about 12 AI into this galaxy. One of them will be an advanced AI. The other, there will be two empires that have a different empire type. I'm going to go ahead and just add 2 fallen empires to this game. And so out of the 12 AI empires that are going to be in this game, 3 of them are going to be a little bit stronger. There will be a Marauder Empire as well. Keep that down to 1. For our traditions and technology costs, yeah, pretty much the rest of this stuff will keep the same. The crisis strength, I'm going to put to... I played it at 3 last time. This time I'm going to try 2.5. I got annihilated in the last game. For the crisis type, we have it set to all, mid-game 2275, and end-game 2400. Now, outside of that, I think we have everything that we need here. And so we'll keep all that pretty much the same. There we go. L gates on, Carabineers on, Xeno capability off, Iron Man mode. I can't play it any other way. All decisions are final. Let's go ahead and start the Necro-Corp. And so, yeah, guys, if you have any empires you've been playing with lately, be sure to let me know. Tell me what you've been playing with lately. Here we have our Necrophage, and it says, in the not-so-distant past, Marble, which is my home world, let's see here, was dominated by a fairly unremarkable species. To all onlookers, they would have seemed to have been following a standard, meandering course of development, with occasionally rapid periods of innovation interspersed with much longer periods of seemingly insurmountable setbacks. However, unbeknown to them, their planet was home to a second intelligent species. Us. Now, for millennia, we, the Na, remained undetected by planet's perpetrators. Little more than vague rumors of terrors in the night, we were a fairy tale told only to scare misbehaving juveniles, but they were wrong to discount us. As their rate of technological progress quickened, so too did our infiltration of their society. When their fall came, it was swift and bloody. They ruthlessly took control of the planet, our persecutors reduced to subservience and gradual absorption into the Gravenar race. Now, armed with the recently discovered secret FTL travel, we are ready to take to the stars and remake all species of the galaxy in our likeliness. And so, yeah, here's our empire. This is our ruler, Natuaku. And we are going to begin. And so here's our galaxy. It looks like we are starting in a nebula, and that is going to be nice because this pretty much gives us some advantages when it comes to our ships. Now let's see where we are in the galaxy, and bingo, we are all the way on the far right side. We are playing with a I believe, a two spiraling arm galaxy. But yeah, we started off in a nebula. That is pretty wonderful. And this is going to increase my cloaking strength, and pretty much is going to make it harder for other empires to find me. And so maybe we'll take that sort of isolationist route leading into the mid-game. But for now, let's start with selecting our technologies here, and we got a couple of options for physics tech. Let's go with that global energy management. I want to get that energy up as quickly as I can. For the society technology, you know what? Let's go with the planetary unification. I don't know if I've started with this one like right off the back, but it'll grant me a lump sum of unity, and we'll look into that as well. For engineering, we will go with powered exoskeletons, since I'm pretty sure our species population, there'll be my species, and I have a subspecies. And so we'll go to this population tab here, and yes, the eggs. The eggs are my subspecies, and I'll be converting them through the necrophyte job here. And every couple of, I think it's every 10 years? Let me double check here. And so through the years of hard work, accumulating the lavish elevation ritual, those unfortunates not born into the ruling caste can be summoned into it. Okay. Oh, and here it is. And so to assure the steady supply of necrophytes, the number of jobs provided scales between 1 and 3, depending on pop growth. Now, it says that every 10 years, necrophytes are transformed into my main species, the Na. Is this stream YouTube only? I'm streaming on Kick now. We're actually streaming my first time on Kick. I did not think to add a link to it, but if you check my Discords or socials, it'll be running up on there. And so I'm slowly starting to gravitate to another platform besides Twitch, because Twitch is disabling me from multi-streaming. And I feel like I was getting some good traction streaming on there and on YouTube at the same time. And so, no, yeah, we're just trying out a little bit of Kick right now, but experimenting. Anarch Plays, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. This is the first and beginning of our stream. We haven't even started yet. We're just kind of tinkering around here with buildings and things like that. But yeah, we just started our Necroid playthrough. I let the community vote in our YouTube community post. And yeah, this is kind of like my first really official, like I'm 100% diving into YouTube stream. And so, yeah, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you're having a happy 4th of July. Here in the States, it is a holiday, and so I have the day off, and I'm doing a little streaming here early on. And so, yeah, we're trying to figure out what the first building is we're going to build now. I am losing a little bit of consumer goods right now. I think we can survive for a little bit. We're not like, I think it's probably like 0.19, and so not losing too much consumer goods right away, but I want to get a head start on just getting some more energy credits. And so I'm going to build one of these, and then maybe when I get some more minerals here, we're going to go ahead and add a civilian industry building just to get us out of that very little like negative deficit there. And so let's grab our science ship next. And I'm looking around the galaxy. I'm trying to see where would I like to explore first. And I may just keep it in my home systems for now, or my sector systems, depending on if there are any AI next to my border. And so we're going to start by surveying these handful of systems here nearby. And I just want to see what's going on here. Do I live in a cluster in the galaxy, or who knows? Do these systems lead to elsewhere? And so we'll get that squared away over here with my mining ship. And I'm over here looking at my civilian ships right now. I'm going to have my construction ship begin mining the 2 minerals in the night shift system. That's my home system. And so we'll go ahead and start our game here. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at our governments. And I just want to see what our diplomatic stance is. And so right now it's set to mercantile, but I think I might switch this over to expansionist. And so for the next couple of years, our policy for our diplomatic stance is going to be set to expanding our borders. And actually going back to that government tab again, the current agenda we have that is soon to be unlocked is the infinite opportunities. And so this will be increasing my citizen pop happiness, which I can see we could use that a ton. And so, yes, 10 years from now, we will have some species converted. And my construction ship has built something. We've completed the first mining station. And so right away, I see there are 4 energy credits in this system here. And man, it has been a while that I've started a game in a nebula system. And so I'll definitely be looking to take advantage of this. Now, I'm going to jump over here to my fleet manager, and let's go to the ship designer. Let's change up this Corvette design here. And so lately in my past couple of games, I've been running with lots of shielding right away. And then for the early game, until I find disruptors, I go with mostly missiles. And so for this ship here, this is going to be our new Corvette design. And there we go. All missiles, all armor. Let's see if it helps us out in the early game if we end up coming across some... Oh, nice! So we are in a cluster. So I see here that this system, it looks like it ends here. That means that the only way to get into my sector system is through this system here. And so what's happening is here, this is like one hyperlane going into this whole area. And so we have a whole galaxy that we can still explore, but the only way the galaxy can really find us is if they travel through here. And so hopefully there's no AI nearby. But now I'm going to change the course of my scientist surveying systems. And I'm going to move them outward this way so that we don't end up... I mean, we could see if there's any AI out there, but yeah, we'll want to eventually expand in this direction as quickly as possible so that we do not get pinched in. Now, speaking of expansion... With us playing Necroids... You know what? I think I might go down the Discovery route. I've been going with Prosperity last time. I think, we went with... Expansion last time. All these seem good, but I'm going to go with that Discovery first so that we can put those scientists to use, just in case we have to play a sort of smaller expansion, a taller build, so to say. And so here we got our first system that has been surveyed, and it has 8 energy credits in it. And so a very good start right there. And now we're going to go ahead and crank the speed up just a little bit and jump back over here to our planet. All right, so we have found a cargo pod. For now, I'm going to leave all anomalies be. I'm going to go to my shipyard here, and we're going to go ahead and build a second science ship right away. I'm going to try and get a second scientist up and active, and we're going to start surveying even more systems. And so we did select this this Discovery tradition here, and it says that our curiosity about the universe is what got us this far, and there's still so much left to discover. And so this gives us the Chart the Unknown agenda, which we'll probably use next. I now have the Edict, Map the Stars, and our anomaly research speed is being increased by 20%. And so let's go over here to our government tab, Policies and Edicts, and Mapping the Stars. And so this I'm going to go ahead and select first, and this is going to give me a 25% increase survey speed modifier, and it's going to give me a 10% anomaly discovery chance. It also allows my ships to detect hyperlanes one system out. And yeah, we're going to be getting our second scientist here in just a moment. And so there we go. We've expanded our borders for the first time in Necro-Corp history. There it is. And so, here we're going to go ahead and start mining these energy credits. And oh no, we got the mass extinction event. And so this is our first sort of chain event going on. And it says our first stumbling steps into the void beyond our planet Marble were not motivated solely by curiosity or a desire to conquer the unknown, or a need to leave our mark on the galaxy. The biosphere of Marble has undergone rapid changes in the past few centuries, and prominent scientists warn that our homeworld may be faced with the beginnings of a mass extinction event, that clinical purging of life that is inseparable from planetary existence and the greater cosmos. And so, I don't know, there's rumors going around. Our planet, could we experience a catastrophic world-ending event? Our research plan has been put together to study a number of planets rendered uninhabitable by major astronomical incidents or planet-bound catastrophes. We hope that by reconstructing these events, a similar fate will be avoided on my homeworld and our species race. And so it falls to me as Chief Executive Officer of Necro-Corp to ensure that this expedition is carried out. Consult the situation log for details. And so pretty much as we go around and we survey other planets and things like that, we'll find planets that may have experienced some sort of like extinction event. And so, yeah, while that's all going down, we're gonna go ahead and buy some more minerals and alloys. And I'm gonna queue up, actually better yet, I'm gonna go to my fleet manager here again, and we're gonna upgrade our fleets. And so that's not gonna cost me too much. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start adding some more ships here to my fleet. And so right now we got 2 Corvettes queued up. Our ships have been upgraded, and now we have 2 more Corvettes on the way. Now I'm going to go back to that science ship that I queued up earlier, And I have 4 out of 6 leaders. And so I'm going to use one of those extra leaders here to fill in. And it looks like, ooh, we have an archaeologist. Now, a cool thing about my species is I added a trait that allows the leader lifespan to be increased a little bit longer. And so here is our first leader that we have acquired outside of our regulars. This is Iman Omkamp. And we're going to have them go ahead and start surveying in the opposite direction of my scientist. And since they have that archaeologist trait, I'm going to swing them around this way, and then I'm going to bring them back to start researching some of our anomalies. And so this scientist is going to go further out into the galaxy, explore, figure out what's going on, and the other is going to be kind of in the background researching projects and anomalies nearby. Now, we have found our first potentially habitable world. It is a size 14 arid world. This will be a good system to survey right away. There we go. And so we're gonna go ahead and move our ships over here. Let's check out planet Marbell and see how it is doing. Still needing a little bit of consumer goods. I can also unlock my first tradition in that discovery tree. And so we're gonna do this first. We'll come back to the planet in just a moment. To boldly go, this gives me another survey speed modifier, 35%. It increases our science ship disengagement chance in case we go into a system that has hostiles in it. We have a 50% chance of disengaging, a 50% extra chance of disengaging. But yeah, we're gonna go to boldly go. It says a new age of exploration is upon us. As we once mapped the surface of our home world, we must now brave new terrain space. There is a galaxy full of wondering, waiting to be discovered. And so, yes, we definitely want to survey systems much faster. We have that edict active as well, map the stars. And so, yes, our ship should be able to survey at a very quick rate here. And so, back over here, back to my home world. Let's look into adding this, the civilian industry building. And to after that, we'll see what's going on with the consumer goods in a moment. But I want to make sure, you know, we're not losing a lot of consumer goods right now, but you know, it's nice just to have more of everything. And so here we have our first mass extinction event. A planet in this system still wears fossilized traces of a past ecology on its sleeve. What could turn a thriving biosphere into a blasted wasteland? A special project has been issued to trace the source of this disastrous transformation. And so my scientist has found a planet in this system. Oh, here it is. This planet has, yes, apparently a asteroid, or no, there was life on this world, but now there is no more life. Oh, and what is this? We have found our first pre-FTL species. And so we've detected the presence of an unsophisticated alien civilization on a planet in the Zakmath system. We're going to take a quick look at this planet, and it's in a beautiful nebula system. This is perfect, all right? They appear to be in the later stages of the Bronze Age, having mastered early metalworking. Although most of their population is rural, several large city-states have formed. We should consider building an observation post above their world to study them more closely. Interesting. And so, yeah, we have found our first pre-FTL species, and unsophisticated. And so the Necro-Corp is abuzz with news of the unsophisticated alien civilization found by our fleets. They may not be capable of space flight, but the aliens of the Anu Locknop are quantifiably intelligent, and their culture and society shows all hallmarks of a moderately advanced culture. And so sweet. Now let's check out this planet. I want to see how many species are here. We have our first contact protocol, and I'm going to say it's going to be wise to be cautious, because I'm pretty sure the other AI are not going to be too fond of my necrophaging ways. And so the planet here, it looks like it has 8 pops. I'm going to be looking to conquer that right away. Now, back over here at the council, we can launch the, let's see, the Infinite Opportunities agenda. My pops are going to be a little bit happier. Good stuff. And next up, let's go for, I could expand the council right away. Or chart the unknown, go for another survey speed modifier. And so sure, we'll go ahead and do that in the early game. I can't imagine us using it a little bit later on. For our scientist here, our head of research already has that archaeologist trait. And so I think I might just add on to that so that he can excavate situations much faster. And cool, that is all done there. Let's go ahead and build our second starbase, this time around a pre-FTL civilization. And you know what? Now that we have discovered them, we're going to go to our armies here and queue up a couple of armies. And so I'm pretty sure my eggs, my scrambled egg species, is going to be much stronger than my more weaker necrophage species. And so
We built something.
there it is. We built something. We're also going to go ahead and build a couple of mining districts here in a moment. Let me buy some more minerals.
Planetary exploitation forecast.
Cool, and we found a toxic terraforming candidate. A world that we can terraform later on. It's toxic for us now. Later, though, we can make it more habitable. And so here we have about 3 energy credits and 3 minerals. I'm going to go ahead and get a mining station over both of those. And look at this, my scientist is traveling out in the galaxy, finding more systems, more resources, and we're going to continue pushing this scientist outward. And so I have one scientist that I like to kind of leave a little bit closer to my home systems. The other is surveying systems further out, and we're right on the outside of the galaxy. And like I said, we're kind of pinched in here. I'm not going to say pinched in. Uh-oh. But we're kind of in a nice defensive like spot for our home world. And so here we have found some hostile aliens. Let's see what they look like. And, oh, it's the Tin Yankee. Wonderful. And so we're going to go ahead and back up out of this system and rotate. But yes, now we have found some enigmatic spacefarers. And let's go ahead and select our second discovery tradition here. And so we started with the To Boldly Go, and I think I might, I don't know if I have many research station outputs just yet. Maybe we can go with the science division. And so the number of science and medical officers have been increased throughout the fleet, organized into a special science division. To support this corps of officers, new training programs have greatly accelerated the rate at which we commission new science officers. And so the effects of this tradition gives me 1 extra research alternative, and our scientists' leader cost and leader upkeep are decreased by 10%. And so, sure, we have more scientists than probably any other leader right now. Yeah, or we're tied with admirals. And so let's go ahead and start our first contact here with the Tin Yankee. We'll go ahead and figure out who they are, since they're not necessarily an intelligent species. And you know, I see how strong their species are, and so I'm going to use that as a sort of a head start here to start working on getting some more corvettes queued up here, just in case, because just because we found them, that could have been an intelligent empire. And who knows, I feel like in a lot of my games, the AI tends to run more belligerent. And so, yeah, we'll prepare for that. Now we got our consumer goods up, and next up, I think I'm going to go with another research lab building, and then let's get another city district up here so that we can get another building slot opened up. Also, while we're at it, we'll go ahead and clear out one of these spiraling slums. Now, I recently learned about this one. This feature is a good feature to clear out very early on, because right here it says that on clearing out this tile blocker, it'll give us 1 pop that'll be created. And so that's a good way to get an extra pop on your world right away. And so on top of that, we're gonna go ahead and get our scientists here going. We're gonna have them go ahead and survey in the opposite direction, since the Tin Yankees seem to have kind of closed us off over towards the bottom side of our borders here. We have 3 armies queued up. Let's see, is now a good time to invade these guys? Let me see how many armies they have. Okay, so they got a couple of armies. We'll wait before we do that. And oh no, another hostile. What is this? Oh, it's the crystallites. Wow, and so we have crystallites and we have Tin Yankee in 2 systems, and now my science ship has gone MIA for probably a couple of months, but nonetheless, production must not stop. We are going to continue expanding, and let me see what my homeworld is. It is an arid world, perfect. So that pre-FTL species we found, when we prepare to invade their planet, that'll be a habitable planet for my species. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to my shipyard here, and I need another science ship. And so here we're going to go ahead and queue up our 3rd science ship, and then we're going to recruit our 3rd scientist. And yeah, the sooner my let me see here. We have about 2 more months and my scientist will be back. Now, Big and Testy. This is the Tin Yankee that we discovered. We've started our first contact with them, and it says, upon entering the system that they are in, our sensors picked up a strange reading. Dismissed at first was glorified asteroids. Things quickly changed when it discovered that these entities reacted aggressively to movement in space. even at great distance. Now, observation of these entities, preferably from a safe distance, is advised, and we will keep it up. And so now we are interacting with our first species. We have our third science ship here, and we're going to go ahead and recruit. Both of these scientists have the same trait, roamer, increasing their survey speed, which is awesome right now. We're just going to recruit the youngest one. All right, cool. So we got them selected, and now we're going to go ahead and continue surveying where our missing scientist left off. All right, so that's done there. My construction ship has built another base here, and we have found an abandoned cargo pod. Okay, and so what could we use now? I'm gonna use it to melt it down, because melting down this cargo pod, which was left by someone in the upper atmosphere long ago, and it was somehow escaped notice of other spacefarers, and it was decaying, and its decaying orbit means it would have been lost in the gas giant's crusting atmosphere. And so within a few years, with our crew, they have unsealed the pod and have found a stash of alien jewelry made out of precious metals. And so I'm going to melt them down so I can get some more alloys, hop back over here to the fleet manager, and we're going to reinforce all of these ships here. And so, you know what, I could probably get another, can I get, nope, I can only reinforce one Corvette right now. But yeah, slowly building up those fleets. Like I said, we don't have too many hostiles like near us yet that we know of, but just in case we do, I'm not going to take the chance. Okay, here, and so I'm going to go ahead and have two scientists survey each of these same systems so that we can move through these a little quicker. And then I got my third scientist who is back now. This is my head of researcher, and this is who I'm going to use. The head of researcher is a member on my council, and I want them to gain some XP a little bit quicker because they have an important role in my Empire society. If we go here to the government tab, the head of researcher has an Empire effect, increasing research speed by 2%. And so the more we can level up this character, the better. They're also commanding a science ship, and so I'm just like, you know what, let's make sure they're researching they have the excavation or the archaeologist trait. That's level 2 now, and so I want to take advantage of that and have them start researching all the projects. Now, once again, we're going to reinforce more Corvettes here. And let me make sure these are the right ships, too. Oh, okay, cool. So it is my missile-class Corvettes. And so, once again, we'll leave these anomalies be for now. We'll have our second wave of scientists researching those. And we've discovered volatile motes. We've completed powered exoskeletons, and so next up for engineering, we're going to go for the afterburners. The faster the ships, the better. And back to the space amoeba, it says the entities encountered by our fleet some time ago are space-borne forms of life. Now, quickly nicknamed space amoeba, following the analysis gross misreading of initial sensor output, the creature is in fact larger than the average Necro-Corp Corvette. And so, sweet stuff there. Now, I'm pretty sure I still can't travel too far past them, but as we get our fleet's capacity up, we're eventually going to have to push these ships back, or these alien life forms. And so let's keep our game going. We are 5 years into this run. We have 5 years to go until we convert our first group of species into necrophages, and here we have the mass extinction event Baron. And so throughout the game, we're going to be finding these mass extinction type planets. Here, this world right here behind me, it says life on the now barren planet was sadly doomed from the start. Yikes. And so, as if by some cruel stellar conspiracy, the dominant species on the planet barely had time to awaken to sapience and invent agriculture before, though unfortunate geological mechanisms, the Earth started turning sour. Now, samples from lower soil strata and the fossilized remains of the creature was once roamed, and the planet shows that several vital minerals needed to rejuvenate the soil ended up, though their largely agricultural diet, in the exoskeletons of the native beings. Now, their bones were prone to fossilize rather than decay, and their very existence exhausted the fragile ecosystem they inhabited, leaving it permanently transformed in the wake of their passing. And so, it's a bummer, but this is the first mass extinction event that we've like completely surveyed now. And yeah, we got our first archaeological dig site. This is the giant gas structure, and so a large dialect space station is trapped in a slow terminal orbit inside the atmosphere of the gas giant. The gravitational stress will likely destroy it completely within the next 1,000 years. Now, oh, we found another mass extinction event. Sorry, guys, the events are popping up left and right. Back to the gas giant structure, though. It says it has not drifted enough into the atmosphere to make archaeological expeditions to the station impossible. And so, yes, we'll research this in a bit. But we have the second mass extinction event as well. This is the burned planet. And so on the planets orbiting the stars bears the still open wounds of some past calamity. All right. And we'll research that here in a bit. And so here is this molten world, and geez Louise, lots and lots of projects going on, but we'll research that in a bit. And we are still in this nebula. This is really nice. For our third tradition that we're going with in Discovery, I think now, let me see, do I have that second? Yes, I have another research lab up now. And so I'm going to jump back over here to Discovery. And although it's not going to be a huge boost to my empire, over time, I'm pretty sure with my homeworld especially, I'll be adding more and more of those research labs. And so the more of those we have, the more bonus we'll get from this. And this will unlock another edict, the research subsidies, and increases my research station output, and my research from Starbase constructions are increased by 20% as well. And so here we go. Data bank updates is updated. And here on my homeworld, we got about 5 jobs available. But yes, we are adding another city district here. We have more grave gnawers than we do eggs. But let's go back and take a quick look at our species. I feel like I didn't show you guys this a whole lot. But our egg species, they don't have a lot of traits. I was pretty sure I gave them traits. But for our necroids, we're pretty weak. We're enduring, intelligent, and of course, necrophage species. And so this is my grave gnawers. For the egg species, I intended to make this species a much more stronger species, but a stronger and a rapid growing species. And so I'm going to need some technology to modify them a little bit later on. Maybe we could try some genetics this playthrough. But we completed the planetary unification technology, and next up, we're going to go for that pop growth speed with genome mapping. Cool stuff there. And so let's grab our scientist here who is currently sitting idle. This is my head of research. And let's have them research the anomaly, research the other anomaly, and then I'm hoping I have my borders expanded here by then. That way we can start our first archaeological dig site. Now I got about 1,000 plus energy credits. We're going to switch those over to alloys, and let's reinforce some more ships here and get those squared away. Now, here in a bit, let me see. I think I might sell some consumer goods and food as well. I'm going to buy some more alloys, and I'm going to build my first, or upgrade my first starbase here. And so all 3 of my leaders have had a trait added to them. And let's go with, we can go with either Scrapper, or I might go with the Shipwrights. And so Empire effects as a counselor. This is my, actually they're not are they on the council? Anoth? Let's see, is Anoth on the council? It looks like Anoth is not on the council. All right. And so with him not being on the council, I'm going to give him the monthly alloys being increased by 2 from the Scrapper trait. Here we have our Chief Executive Officer, Admiral, and I can't tell how, let me see, is Naku Aku, oh, that's my leader. Okay, so they are on the council. Let's see if we have a council-wide effect here. And so Empire effect as counselor, increase naval capacity by 15%. Yes, we will take that. That gives me just about 2 more ships, but I will take those in the early game. And here, okay, so here's our Minister of Defense. And let's look for those Empire effects. Another naval capacity increase. Doubling up on the naval capacity increase. And so now we're at 26 ships that we can have in our fleets total. Excellent, excellent. Let's go ahead and expand our borders here once again. And I want this system right here. Those, look at this, 7 energy credits and 14 minerals. That is going to be very juicy for my Empire's economy. And so we got that city district up. That has opened up another building slot here. Let's leave that be for now. Let me see. I'm looking for some more solid resources right now. The thing is I don't have a lot of minerals, and so maybe we could squeeze on a mineral district next. And then maybe I'll come back to this planet in a bit and look for another building. But right now we're just kind of balancing back and forth what we're building. I see my minerals are starting to take a slight hit. And now we have found another mass extinction event with a planet. This is the Noxus world. And so, yeah, we'll research that one a little bit later on. We're starting to find more and more of these extinct planets. It's a little grim for my species here, finding out that these types of worlds are nearby. Hopefully this has no connection to our planet. And here is one of my scientists with another trait. They have a science ship effect. Archaeologist tier 2. We can get more consumer goods or increased anomaly research speed. These all seem great, but I think I have my head of researcher researching excavation dig sites, and so instead, I may have this scientist go with the intuition trait, increasing their anomaly research speed. Cool stuff, and so expansion is continuing. We're gonna go ahead and move our base here next, and this system, Tanabo, has some really good resources in it, and so, yeah, with the Tenyaki still here, let's see, our fleets now match their fleet power. I'm gonna add some more ships here a little bit later on before we decide to attack them. I'm gonna try and have about double their ship size, and then we'll make our way back over here. But yeah, here we have these crystalline sensors. They seem to not be moving much, and that's great. All right, and so this is the grimacing situation. What is this? And so the very geological structure of Porin 2 is indeed flux. That is going to be this planet right here behind me. And it says, driven by what our science officers assures us is a tectonic process as fascinating as the esocentric. What is more interesting to the Necro-Corp is that we may be able to strategically halt the planet's ceaseless chaotic self-transformation. In short, a near instant stabilization of the planet into something slightly, if not entirely, more habitable, if theoretically possible. And so our scientist estimates that an additional 200 credits will be needed to power a thorough mapping of planetary activity and determine the validity of what our science officer has termed a surgical terraforming strike. Actual terraforming lies beyond our grasp at the present, so this is an exciting opportunity. And I'm going to give him the 200 energy credits to see if we can stop this situation. And tactical terraforming comes up. It says that now the scientist reports that the planet can indeed be terraformed. A narrow window of opportunity is expected to open shortly, as the planet enters a particularly unstable phase of its cycle lasting a couple of months. Our scientists believe that a miniaturized explosive charge delivered to the planet's crust and strategic irradiation of the atmosphere during this time will halt this planet's tumultuous changes and stabilize it as a form of somewhat more suitable for sustaining life. Now, a special project has been issued, but we do not have a lot of time here. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and have my scientists research this project. And then we'll continue researching and excavating anomalies. And so cool, we're going to see if we can make that planet more habitable here in a bit.
Research complete.
And there it is. Tactical terraforming is successful. Holy moly, we made it into an arid world. Wow. And so our science officer is proud to report that this planet can be reclassified as an arid rather than a barren planet. This grand experiment has greatly enriched our species scientists. And so, holy moly, that is pretty sweet right here. We have terraformed a planet before having terraforming technology. And so this gives me a bunch of technology points as well. But yo, bravo there. That's pretty good job right there. And so good job for the scientists there, kicking some butt. And we're gonna keep on moving though and researching. And so we have our first base up as well. And we're gonna go ahead and continue down this discovery tree. We'll come back to that base in a second, but the Polytechnic education. And so it says, in this age of increasingly advanced technology, a basic education of polytechnics and applied science will benefit all of our citizens. This will inevitably lead to more qualified leaders. Now, this gives us an extra leader pool size, which is going to be very nice, and we get an extra 10% leader experience gain. And so we're at 6 out of 6 leaders when I activate this. Oh, that's for the leader pool, and so that's for the leaders that I can recruit. All right. It just gives me more options for leaders when it's time to recruit them. It doesn't increase my leader capacity. And so, yeah, sorry about that. Got that a little mixed up there. And let's go ahead and move around some resources. And so, expansion seems to be going okay. We have found a system called Entropy's Maw. I wonder if there is something going on with that. It looks like nothing right now, so thank goodness. Usually black holes can either be really good or really bad. Now this system right here might be one of our more profitable systems that we've expanded to. And oh, we have a deceptive giant on our hands here. And so apparently this planet, it is not a gas giant. It says beneath a deceptive cover of thick dust swirling in the upper atmosphere lies a irregular planet, a barren planet, but a planet nonetheless. This has proven quite embarrassing to the astronomical community on my home world, and so, oof, a little embarrassing for my scientists. No worries. We're gonna go ahead and look at our physics technology, and we've completed the global energy management, allowing me to now build a energy grid building on my planets. And on top of that, let's double down on the energy credits and go with the field modulation next. All right, and so with our construction ship here, we're gonna go ahead and see, yes, now we're gonna start building mining districts, and we're gonna exploit these 7 and 14 resources there. For my shipyard, let's jump back over to the fleet manager. And I'm gonna queue up some more ships, and bingo, we got one more Corvette on the way. Next up, let's check out our new base here. And so we built this base here in the system right next to my home system. We're gonna kind of plug in these choke point systems here. And I think I might go with an anchorage, a couple of anchorages. We'll get those squared away in a bit. And I have a building slot available, but I don't have enough alloys for it right now. Diamond in the rough. And so, yeah, we'll leave that base there until we got more resources for that. It says, after a study on one of these systems has concluded, apparently on this planet, our science officer reports that they have found a planet to be unusually rich in resources. This discovery was made possible in large part thanks to a certain number of the crew. Now, we are apparently praising the protege very highly, and I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I have a full leader capacity. I don't want to go over it right now. I'm going to say, hey, you do good work where you are. Do your thing, continue doing your thing, and we'll come back to you later on. I can't recruit another leader right now. And so we're gonna go ahead and continue surveying systems in this direction. And I think now I'm gonna go ahead and just have my scientists automatically survey. Actually, I'll have them both do the same thing. And they're just gonna go ahead and move on their own way, because usually once I've surveyed a bunch of systems around my sector, then I'm like, all right, go do your own thing. And so we found another extinction event. It was a broken planet. We'll survey that a little bit later on and look into that as we come across it. But yeah, outside of that, everything is looking pretty solid so far. We're starting to, I think we're starting to stride a little bit. I can feel some major growth incoming. Here's my head of researcher, and I'm going to give them this politician trait. The homesteader is nice, but with the politician trait, it says that we will get a extra 10% counselor experience gain, and our faction's approval will be increased by 2.5%. And so cool stuff there. On my home planet, we have about 5 jobs available. And right now, our only pop growing is, oh yes, the eggs. But yo, here in a little bit, we're gonna have some pops be converted in about another, I want to say 8 months. We are gonna be converting our first group of egg species into necrophages. And so tune in here. We're gonna get the alert for that in a second. Check out the population, the pie chart here. Right now, there's more eggs than my grave gnars, but no worries, that will be changing here in just a moment. Now, for my engineering technology, let's go with the Corvette, the standardized Corvette patterns. This gives me a decrease in ship build costs for my Corvettes and my frigates. And I would love to have cheaper ships to build. Here it is. And so the elevation ceremony on my home planet is taking place. And ever since the Necro-Corp takeover on planet Marbel, the transformation of scrambled eggs into gnaw have been surrounded in ritual. So once every 10 years, a date which is rapidly approaching, the apprentices gather in the Chamber of Elevation for a special ceremony. What exactly happens to them is a closely guarded secret known only to a select few, but when they emerge, they do so as my primary species, the Gnaw. And so let the preparations commence, and at the end of the year, the necrophytes on my homeworld will be converted into Gnaw. And so our first ceremony is taking place. Wonderful. All right, and so for my home systems, I'm going to leave these building slots open for now. Let's see. I could probably reinforce some more ships here. And in a little bit, we may be looking into our first combat in the game.
Boom. We built built something.
We have built something, and so we're going to go ahead and keep on expanding, though, in this direction while we can. We're pretty much stretching along the outside of the galaxy, and we have our first archaeological situation. And so back at that gas giant structure, we have what is it looks like a pleasure palace. Nice. And so the present dark and lifeless interior of the space station almost succeeds in hiding the fact that it must have been designed as some kind of luxurious pleasure palace. Now, there are seemingly endless rows of rusty slot machines, hundreds of decrepit bars and restaurants, and amidst it all, thousands of bodies. Oh. And so dead, partially mummified aliens of at least a dozen different species can be found everywhere, but most of the bodies are clustered around the empty escaped pod bays. So it sounds like they were trying to escape this pleasure palace. We're going to find out more about what's going on there in just a moment. Let's go ahead and move our construction ship forward and continue expanding in this direction.
Resource scan complete.
Let's see here. And so our scientist has picked up another trait available, and we're going to go with the Roamer Tier 2. And there it is, guys. We have converted 3 pops of our species into our homes, or into our primary species.
I found something.
Jeez Louise, situations all over the place. And so here we have it, and wow, let's look at the pie chart. Now we have more grave gnawers, and so over time I'm going to try and get this egg species to get some more traits. But yes, Marbell has 3 more of my primary species. Cool stuff. And so we're going to go ahead and queue up another base here to be made, and we have found our first alien ship.
Found something.
Actually, hold on, what is this? Is this an intelligent species? I see no indicators of a ship. I do see a ship in our sector right now. What is this? Where is this? It's an alien vessel, and so, oh, that's a crystalline, another crystal. All right, and so up here, I'm actually not going to initiate first contact just yet. But now I'm definitely going to be wanting to put some more focus into building some more ships here. As we start to find more of these ships out here in the galaxy, the AIs, I just want to be as prepared as we possibly can. And we have found another pre-FTL species. Now, I should have, here, let's spin some minerals here. We're going to go back to our shipyard. I'm going to go to my army builder here. And we're going to queue up about 5, maybe 10 assault armies. And once those are finished, we're going to invade our first pre-FTL planet. Now, I want to see how much it's going to cost me to colonize a planet here. And you know what? This will be perfect. My egg species, they prefer this type of planet. I may have them just colonize the world first. I just need 200 alloys, and so we're going to have to wait a little bit until we get that. But once we do, we may look into colonizing our first planet from the Necro-Corp.
Resource scan complete.
And so, yes, a second pre-FTL has been discovered. We have now unlocked pop growth technology, and let's go with that hydroponics farming. As we get ready to colonize some more worlds, I can imagine our food upkeep is going to go up as well. All right, cool stuff. Wow. All right, and so we have our first, I think we may have 2 factions founded here. We're going to look at both of these, and so these are going to be our first factions in the game as well. We have the One Group and the Institute of United Scientists. And so these are our 2 factions here, one being a authoritarian and the other being a materialist. And so it looks like right now, let's see here. So up here it shows what ethics your species are leaning into. And it looks like we have, here, let me check my empire really quick. So yes, we are fanatic materialist. Huh. The only thing about that is, like, I don't know if I'll be able to, like, will I be able to exploit robots, or can robots be converted? Question of the stream here. Can robots be converted through, like, the necrophage? But yeah, let's go back to those factions really quick. The One Throne Group, and so this is being led by who? I don't see a leader for this faction. But right now, the Institute of United Scientists, it appears we are playing by their rules right now. They're represented on the council, They have a ruler of their ethic, and the AI policy is being allowed. And so I might go ahead and embrace this faction, or just promote them so that more of our pops will go in that direction. And unless another faction comes up that has more issues that we support and a higher approval rating as well as more support, I'll support them. But for now, the Institute of United Scientists is going to be... Can I change the name? I can, but I'll keep it as that for now. That's going to be our primary focus when it comes to factions and helping us increase more unity. And so the more unity, the more traditions, the more, I mean, if a leader dies, we can recruit another leader. And so edicts, we can use edicts as well. But yes, let's go here and see, can we colonize our first planet? And we sure can. And you know what? I'm going to send our subspecies in there first. And so for our first planet here, there we go. We're going to name this planet Pharma CO. We're going to give all these worlds sort of like corporation type names. For our physics tech here, let's go with, not going to be, let's go with the fusion reactor. I saw the laser technology. I'm probably going to jump over to that a little bit as well, but I haven't been using a lot of lasers in my early games as much. And so in the meantime, though, we're going to go ahead and continue expanding up here in this direction. And we have that's a AI ship. We have an AI ship traveling across the galaxy. We must expand faster. And so we got about 7 armies now queued up as well. We're going to be colonizing a planet and invading another world at the same time. And so as that's getting ready to happen here, I want to hurry and get it. I think we are. Did we already set that colony ship up? We did. So the colony ship's being made right now. And then we will get ready to colonize and invade a pre-FTL species. And so back with this gas giant structure, this is our first excavation dig site we are beginning, and it says this derelict station was once known as the Star Petal, and it was apparently a celebrated luxury resort in this corner of the galaxy nearly 1,000 years ago. Now, a small fleet of tugs would drag the station to a new exotic location each year, but Replicon 2 appears to have been its last. For unclear reasons, the station was pulled into a gas giant's atmosphere where it suffered critical damage. And so, curious. Oh, and so that's going to be the second part of the gas giant structure. And here we have some mysterious ruins. Oh, this is another Empire's planet. And so we have found another AI empire in the galaxy. We don't know much about them, but we know that they have claimed this system. And it looks like this will be the furthest we'll be able to expand in this direction for now. But it says in this system, it contains the remains of an ancient abandoned colony. From orbit, there are no various signs of disaster which could have killed the inhabitants and compelled them to flee. If we want answers, an expedition to the surface will be required. And so, we'll go ahead and we got to be very careful about these systems here. We're going to survey them, although there is this first contact situation. I'm trying to avoid it so that in case they are hostile, my civilian ships do not go missing in action. But yes, we are going to continue expanding in that direction towards them. We want to try and get our hands on a few of these systems here as possible. And so, yes, we are now expanding a little bit beyond our sector. But let's see here. I have my armies queued up. We have the colony ship getting ready to expand. We are now going to go ahead and we have to toggle first contact policies to allow us to attack neutral targets. Copy that. Before we do that, let's complete our first tradition discovery. And so before we look at that, let's look at the faith in science. And so the public has come to regard science as something almost akin to a religion. Their faith is an absolute. There is no question in this universe so big that cannot be answered by science. And so, here we have the chance to, this is actually going to decrease my researcher upkeep. That's going to be pretty good because I think we have more researchers than any other position right now. And so for our first Ascension perk, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this is going to be an interactive playthrough, so you will be able to vote on some situations here that come up in the game. I usually like to stop around the 2-hour mark. And so, once we're there, I will then let you guys vote on something in our YouTube community post. But here we got our first Ascension perk. And since we went through all that technology, we've been using a lot of tech here, like early on in the game. We're gonna go with the technological ascendancy Ascension perk. And so technologies that would have been indistinguishable from magic mere generations ago are now within reach. A new age of technology has begun. And so this is going to increase my research speed by 10%, and rare technologies will now appear 1.5 times the normal rate. This effect would change a 1% chance to a 1.5% chance. And so there it is, our first Ascension perk. The discovery tree has been completed, and so when we finish this discovery tradition tree, it gives us another 10% research speed. And so yeah, we're getting a lot of like research speed modifiers right now. Let's go ahead and sell some of these upkeep resources again. And I'm going to spend those on those wonderful alloys so that we can head over to our fleet manager and reinforce some more ships. We are about to find our first, I'm hoping not to find them just yet, but we will definitely be preparing for the worst. Now let's jump back over here to our policies and edicts. And for, let's see, not subjugation, pre-FTL and interference, we're going to change this to aggressive. Yes, aggressive interference. We are a necrophage, so it's like, yeah, we want your species. I would consider that a pretty aggressive stance. Let's grab all of our armies that we've built up now, and let's get ready to invade our first planet. You have to toggle our first contact. Wait a minute. We'll look at what we got to do there in just a second, but our first Gravenaller colony. And so our colony ship is gently touched down at the top of a large flat mesa near our the equator of our new planet that we're about to colonize, Pharma CO. And so this location will serve well as the first landing site, and the rivers that flow in the canyons below provide easy access to fresh water. Speaking of water, yeah, we've been streaming for a bit. I'm going to take a quick hydrate here. All right, and back to it. And so the ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement, and its reactive core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Now, hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up and around the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first Gravenaller city of an alien world, and so a great day for the Necro-Corp Empire. Wonderful. And so we now have our first planet in the Pormia system. And now, let's see. Oh, this is an alien vessel here. What is this? Is this the crystals? All right, and so we're gonna have to get them out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and grab our fleets here, and we're gonna move them up to this border and attack these crystals. And so let's test out our fleet capabilities. We got some new tech, and a comet has been sighted. Wonderful. Looks like this doesn't have any modifiers for my empire. But yo, research has been complete. We are now able to build corvettes 5% cheaper and 25% faster. Next up for engineering technology, we have a lot of minerals. We do. We also have a lot of mining stations as well, and so zero-G refineries is going to be the next technology that we research so we can get some bonuses from there. And let's go ahead, and while we can't expand any further in this direction just yet until we clear out this hostile fleet, let's just go ahead and build a mining station. And so back down here, let's go back and look at why and at least how we can invade this planet. It says that we need to, I want to land my armies here, but we need to toggle our first contact protocol policies to allow us to attack neutral targets. And so I think we looked at the wrong one here. And so let's see here, first contact. So unknown dangers may hide among the stars. To ensure our continued survival, we must be ready to strike without hesitation. I'm going to change this to aggressive for now, but I could see myself like changing that later on. All right, so here we go. We're going to land our armies on this planet, and we are going to take, here it is. Oh, so they look like they're already a necrophage species, but they say, invaders, we do not know why you're attacking us, but no, we will fight to defend our planet. We will not yield. Well, I'm just going to be like, yo, I hope to build a profitable relationship with you. And so our first alien encounter has taken place here in the year 2213. We are invading pre-FTLs. Some, I can imagine, disagree against it. Others probably not so much, but the news that we have made first and formal contact with an intelligent yet underdeveloped civilization has been received with mixed feelings by our population. This confirms our long-held belief that there are non-spacefaring aliens within our galaxy who may never even considered exploring beyond their own planet. Now, each species we encounter represents both an opportunity and a threat. We must be wary. The technological level of these particular aliens is low by our standards, but they have not yet achieved spaceflight. We must decide how best to engage them going forward. And so yes, this does change everything. And so the invasion is underway. Here are our armies versus theirs, and they are getting annihilated.
Enemy planet incorporated.
And so there we go, subjugating unsophisticated. Our armies have successfully invaded and subdued the primitive forces on this planet right here, which is a habitable world for my species as well. It says that the locals have given up their attempts at fighting back, and we have subsumed their civilization into our empire. Although backwards as they are, it may take some time for the natives to become fully productive members of Necro-Corp society. And so the evolution will benefit from our control. And so we're gonna rename this world here, but now we have another planet under our control, and we'll name this one the Anna INC. I don't even know, I'm putting names together, but there it is. Anna INC is our third planet now under our control. There is some low stability here. We have some things we got to fix up on this planet. And so let's start with, for starters here, holy moly, we're gonna need some, let me see what jobs we have. So we need some clerk jobs. Let's start by building a city district. And then I could see myself making this planet probably either a factory, probably a factory world, or maybe a consumer world, or a forge world. Forge world or a factory world, I can't decide just yet. But we will get an industrial building on this planet right away. And then after that, I'll probably want to get one of those necrophage buildings here as well. And so let's jump back up to our minerals here. We're going to buy a handful of those so that we can squeeze another building onto this world. And where are you at? Where's my crafty necrophage building? I actually don't see it. Oh, here it is, Chamber of Elevations. And so, oh, I can't add this while the planet is experiencing a stellar culture shock. So we just invaded the world. Now we'll have to wait a little bit before we can get that started. But what we can do is get a gene clinic going so we can get some increased pop growth on this world. More species for us to convert. And so our armies have just invaded their first planet, and we're going to send them back to our home world to dock their ships. Now let's check out Planet Marble. This is our home world, and we have, you know, decent amount of energy credits, minerals, food, all that jazz. Let's go all out on some more energy credits here. And so I'm going to build 2 more generator districts, and then we'll come back to this planet. I think that should be enough for now. Pharma CO. Now, while this planet is getting colonized, I was looking to see if there were any districts that I could clear out tile blockers for. It looks like I can't right now. And so another faction has been found. This is the Loyal faction. This is the Loyal Citizenry group. And we'll check out what they're all about. But the cruelty of the row aliens. Oh no. Our explorers knew First Contact to be a dangerous affair, but none could have predicted just how true this would be. In a violent assault, the row aliens seized our vessels, landing a boarding party before our emergency FTL could be engaged. Now, despite our crew's valiant efforts, the attackers, a humanoid alien species, were able to overwhelm our defenses. Perhaps, fortunately, both of them, and the sake for keeping information from the enemy's hands, our crew took to their own lives rather than permitting themselves to be captured. Yikes. And so I just lost a scientist due to the aliens up here. And so this is definitely going to be a good reason for me to start building more science ships, or not science ships, but our corvettes here, because now we have had our first interaction with I'm gonna take that as a hostile species. That's an act of aggression towards my species. And so let's go back here and start building some research stations. And I think we have enough room here to build a 3rd base now. And we're just going to work our way from the inside. So this right here is my home system. I'm just going to build it outward. This is a choke point system leading into this cluster here of area behind me. And so these like star shaped systems, it's kind of like a sort of like a hexagon type system. or cluster. But yes, all this is pretty much connected to my home system. And these two systems, this is all a choke point. So I want to get that as secured as I can. And let's head back to our shipyard here and get another science ship up. All right, so our fleets are still getting ready to attack these crystalline shards. I believe that's what they are. The sooner we can attack them, the better. That way we can continue expanding in this direction. But yes, 2 systems away now. Let's go ahead and see what's up with this gas giant structure. And so this is now the final day situation. And it says the archaeologists working on the star petal have gathered sufficient clues and evidence that paint a reasonably clear picture of the station's final days. A stray asteroid impacted the station, knocking it into an orbit that would soon plunge into the atmosphere it's currently located in. Now, station's keeping thrusters could not compensate, and the command staff soon issued an evacuation order. Unfortunately, the station only had enough escape pods to evacuate a fraction of its passengers, and mass panic soon erupted. Those who were not trampled to death perished when the station's environmental systems failed as it drifted deeper into the gas giant. Oof. And so curious. We're gonna go ahead and keep diving into that giant gas structure. Here we're about to have our first fleet action go down. And while this happens, let's see here. I'm gonna try and get some more ships to reinforce it. All right, so there we go. They're in the same fleet, or they're in the same system here. For Necro-Corp, for the profits. All right, and so our first battle's going down here, and it looks like we've won that one. No ships were lost. We did some decent damage. Wonderful. And so KO right there for those crystalline shards. Let's go ahead and bring our fleets back down to this system. And I'm actually going to go here and restrict this system for now. I don't want any of my ships heading there just yet. We don't have the fleet power to take that on at the moment, but I do have a 3rd science ship here once again. And let's go for another archaeologist. The other 2 were resilient, and while that leader lifespan is being increased through that trait, not bad. Just I want to get to work on these anomalies and dig sites. So next up for society technology, we've got a couple of options here, but I think I may look into going with eco simulation. This gives me a little bit more food from my farmers, a little bit extra food output from those jobs. And yeah, we'll come back to that a little bit later on. Now, my scientists here, let's see. I'm going to have them start automatically just doing a little bit of everything. Researching projects, surveying systems, and things like that. For my construction ship here, we can finally get back up here, and I believe we should be able to expand. We just need some more alloys. And our expansion now continues in this sort of northern direction. Okay. Cool stuff there. And so we got our fleets coming back to our sector here, getting ready to plan our attack against the alien vessels in this direction. I kind of don't want my scientists to get too far away. I have one that's missing right now, and I'll keep them nearby in a bit, but yeah, I want to make sure I got a couple that are close because we're going to start surveying around this area and see what's going on in this bottom cluster of systems. All right, so we got a 2nd fleet. It looks like queued up here. I could probably get away with building another 16 ships. And so we got our 1st fleet fully at its max command limit. Now we're going to start working on this 2nd one here. And so we're going to get about 20 more corvettes on the way as soon as we can. Let's see, we got all of our scientists, all of our civilian ships moving around, working on various projects going around in the galaxy. Let's check up on planet Anna INC here, and cool stuff. We got some new, or some more housing on this world, but we still need some jobs here. And so I got about 1.4 thousand minerals here. And so let's put those to use. And right away, let's look into temporarily putting a precinct house on this world just to get rid of the crime. I don't know if it'll stabilize the planet, but the planet does have a stellar culture shock. And so maybe we'll go to our decisions here and declare some martial law. Martial law. And so that's actually going to add 2 more jobs to the planet. And so that helps out for a bit, giving those 2 soldier jobs. Cool stuff. Amenities might drop down a little bit, but no worries. And cool, stability is climbing up a little bit. And so we'll put that planet on martial law just for a little bit until we can get it a little bit more stabilized. Now, next up for physics tech, let's go for that research speed modifier. And then Pharma CO. This is our first planet that we actually colonize. And so, not colonize, but outside of our homeworld colonize. Let's start with getting a city district up here. And this, I might have just one factory world and one forge world right from the start. I gotta be very careful though, because that's gonna burn into my minerals here. But we have a city district queued up and ready to go. And for our second building, you know what, maybe I will go with a alloy foundry. Now on Anna INC, I want to see, can I build that? No, I still can't build the Chamber of Elevations just yet. We'll have to upgrade that building here. But cool, 15 years in the game, we got 3 planets. We're starting to get them kind of squared away here. There we go, stability is increasing on this world. Let's see, our ships have been fully repaired. And now we are going to attack the space amoeba that is blocking us in this system. On top of that here, we got some more resources, but I want to try and expand my borders to this system in particular. And we'll just move there after that. Let's jump back down to our star bases, and I want to try and get a second construction ship up, because while we're going to be expanding up here, I want to start expanding down here at the same time as well. And so here we go.
Liquidating foreign assets.
Sorry, Bubbles. We have to expend you of your troubles. And so, we have made contact with our first intelligent species, the Invading sovereignty. And so that sounds like a aquatic species. Let's find out. Oh, it's a despotic hegemony. Holy moly. Will this be good for our species? I'm not sure. They're hegemonic imperialist. I mean, we're both materialist. We're both fanatic materialist. However, they're militarist while we're authoritarian. And so they say, we are the Invading sovereignty, minions of the wise overlord Ganak this one. Our aim is to improve ourselves through the use of technology, and whether you agree to these goals or not, we trust you will remain amicable neighbors. And so I'll say, hey, cooperation will surely benefit us all. And so the news that we've encountered intelligent life for the first time has been received with mixed feelings in our population. And so kind of the same thing with the pre-FTLs. We now have the research option gained xenolinguistics. Cool stuff here. And so they're going to be located up here towards the top. We're both going to be kind of battling here for this pre-FTL system in hopes that we can get it. Let's see what our diplomacy is currently looking at like with these guys. They're a little bit wary towards us. And of course, I knew it. They're belligerent. And so let's see. Can we propose subjugation? We absolutely cannot. I want to see if we can improve relations. You know, we are a megacorp. I would like to have, you know, a nice corporate partner. And so, yeah, I'm going to definitely look into researching that here in a bit. All right, and so we're going to go ahead and start surveying down in this direction now. Now that the system is opened up. All right, I want to make sure we're doing all those things. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and start moving forward as well and looking at what is in these clusters in a bit. Now, let me see here. I'm looking for some more systems that I can expand to, and this will probably be our next best option. Now, a cool thing that has kind of been like a new feature is using your military ships now to survey forward. And so I'm going to send my fleets forward just to see what's going on in these systems here. And there's no way. Am I like kind of at a dead end system? Oh no, definitely not. There are, oh, okay. I don't think we'll be attacking these guys, but we have found some major Tin Yankee here. Quite an interesting looking system here. And so, yeah, we'll come back to this. Actually, you know, I'll probably go ahead and just start first contacting with that, but what is this? Terminal orbit. What do we have here? And so one of the many moons circling a planet in near our sector has a terminal orbit. It will soon collide with a gas giant and what is sure to become a massive impact event. I gotta see this. Oh man. This event has been millions of years in the making, and it is starting to coincide that the impact has been fated to occur just after a visit by one of our ships. Now, many of our scientists wish to observe it and record the event, but we have only a narrow window before it is too late. Sweet. And so I'm actually going to go ahead and research that. And whoa, what is going on here? Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a mercenary enclave right next to our borders. And it looks like they destroyed a bunch of my ships here. Fortunately, some of them were able to run away. But oh no. Now, back to the gas giant structure. It says that rummaging through the secure safes where the Star Petal's wealthiest clientele stored their personal belongings has revealed a treasure trove of strange artifacts and jewelry. Perhaps the most noteworthy among the found items is the Heart of the Pulsar, a unique diamond necklace famous in its day for having been worn by 5 different head of states. And so cool, we have found 60 minor artifacts, 400 energy credits. We've gained the research option for Ancient Rampart. Nice, and we got tech progress towards it. And so, cool stuff. Completed the gas giant structure, and this site has been fully excavated. Now, these guys right here, that might be a problem. But I could see myself using that to my advantage, though. Excuse me. All right, so let's grab our science ships down here, and let's keep trying to survey in this direction, though. But see, if I would have sent one of my leaders in there, that would have been very bad. But yeah, we're going to figure out what else is left in this side of the galaxy. Now, as soon as my fleets get back, we're going to reinforce those. We got to be careful here now because I don't want these guys thinking they can destroy us or anything like that. They are belligerent, and so they'll take any chance they get to... Oh, wait. Can I expand here now? Yes, the pre-FTLs are here. Yes, we can get it, and we should be able to secure these next 2 systems as well. But, oh, man. Just, I like to celebrate those little bitty wins, getting those systems under control. And we're going to build 2-star bases at once. Holy moly. And so, was I expecting these guys to be right below our system? No, but, yeah, we got the Marauders right next to us, or... They could be the Reavers, I'm not sure, but back to that planet that was about to collide with another planet. It says, we were successful in our attempt to record the collision between a planet and its moon. The event was captured from several different angles and transmitted live throughout our space. Most importantly, our scientists understand the leadership of Anthon's Knot, that's one of our scientists, were able to record a large amount of valuable physics data that will surely benefit our research. And so this gives us an extra 700 points in physics research. And it looks like he gets a trait point. And so he already has the archaeologist trait once again. I'm just going to go for it. Another one. I want to find those archaeology projects and get those research. And so we have managed to expand our borders in a pretty solid portion of the galaxy up here. We got a black hole system. We got more pre-FTL species, which I may invade. We'll see about them in a bit. I'm still waiting for my fleets to come back home. And we're going to prepare. You know, I'm going to go ahead and build some mining stations first, and then we're going to move to the system. And so, wonderful. We have found another terraformable candidate, a terraformable planet out there. We'll have to come back to it in a bit. And so here we still have a couple of generator jobs, technician jobs available on this world, which I'm surprised. I usually feel like that job would fill up more than the others. But since we only have 1 building slot left, and we still have 4 locked building slots, I'm going to build 1 more city district. And then maybe I'm going to get another job on this planet. And so, that system that had all those Tinyanki in it, here, this crazy looking system, it says that there's mysterious guardians. A large number of MIM aliens are clustered around a planet covered in the carcass of some alien life form. Having no information on those alien entities, we can only speculate on their behavior. And so, cool. Whatever's going on here, it looks like it's all kinds of craziness going on there. All right, and so we have a living asteroid situation. Our fleets have finally made it back home, and we're going to try and reinforce as many of those as we can and get our fleets back on track. Next up here, we're going to go for the specialized combat computers. This gives me the basic combat roles component, and I've actually been curious, like, as to what that does exactly. And so we'll look at that when we finish researching it. And holy moly, xenolinguistics says it grants us a lump sum of influence, allows renowned leaders to appear, and first contact discovery speed will be increased by 20%. Man, that is a nice technology to have right away. I have scientists all over the place, projects to research. I'm going to have them automate this, and so our scientists will get squared away with that. One of our planets still has low stability. All right, no worries there. We have species that are growing on this planet. The thing is they're a little weak, so fortunately I do have the gene clinics activated, and let me see what the population tab's looking like. It's still the Darhesh. And so yeah, the sooner we can get some more pops on that planet, the better. This is a first contact problem going on, or situation. And here is some more of the enclaves, and so I'm definitely going to have my scientists avoid these systems for now. And yo, this is just one, like, I like the way these hyperlanes are set up in this galaxy right now, because it's pretty much just having my system kind of like in this pocket right now of the galaxy. And it's going to be a challenge for some. If the Empires just outnumber me with fleets, sure, they can get to me that way, but they're really going to have to push through a lot of choke points here if I can get those built up. And so my head of researcher has reached a veteran level, and we have some options here, and I'm thinking, you know, we might go with the researcher. At research speed being increased by 7% will be a Empire effect, with my leader being on the council. Now, next up, we have the Chart the Unknown, and as much as I like this agenda, I feel like now I kinda don't know if I'll be needing it as much as I thought I was in the early game, but we'll go ahead and launch that agenda, giving me a 100% survey speed. And so we can probably finish out that surveying process in the early game for my Empire. And next up, we got a couple of agendas available here. And so I would probably go with expanding the council, maybe getting more Empire effects through the council as a whole. Let's go back here to our resources, and I'm going to buy some more alloys so that we can continue reinforcing more ships here. And so yeah, we got another mass extinction event, the Chili planet situation, and we'll probably get to that as we research it later on. And yeah, again guys, if you are just now joining the stream, we had a mass extinction event happen, not with our empire, but we're finding these planets that experience that type of event, and now we're trying to figure out, yo, why did this happen, and how can we prevent this? All right, and so the stability on this world went kind of low. It's because I have enslaved species. Are my egg species enslaved? They're in indentured servitude. All right, and so I feel like that happened when I changed this world to a forge world. And so maybe I'll just keep this as a automatic colony designation right now. Let's see, yeah, this is Pharma CO. My pops are not happy on this planet. And oh, we're having a ruler election. It is time for our first election. Elections for a new chief executive officer are in progress. Spend Unity to elect one of the candidates. If we do not interfere, a random candidate will be selected. And so here we got a couple of options. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with our fleet organizer officer here. I wonder, I can't tell who has... Man, I don't want to spend my Unity right now, and so I'm going to let the people vote. But I have no clue who's getting the most support right now, and so yeah, we'll tune into that as soon as that election is over and see who our new leader shall be. I want to make sure we're also keeping our foot on the gas when it comes to expanding right now as well, because I want to keep getting these systems, keep getting more resources. I see our minerals are starting to climb just a bit. An open burial, what is this? So what our scientists first mistook for asteroids have been revealed to be frozen, battered corpses of alien fauna, roughly menacing or matching the shapes of the aliens seen roaming the system. The entire asteroid ring is in fact just an open burial ground. Some of the bodies we acquired are recently deceased, while others predate our empire by thousands of years. That sounds kind of spooky. It's so an asteroid belt made of humans. Oh, and one of my scientists has picked up a negative trait. They're stubborn, and so they have a assist research efficiency modifier by 25%. And our leader is back in office with a second term. Natu Aku is our chief executive once again. All right, so here's the Tin Yankee. That's that system that had all those species in it, and this is going to give us some influence. It ends the first contact with that species, and we get frequency tuning technology. And so let's look into... I'm going to see what's up if we were to displace the Gravekeepers without harming them. I'm curious about that. I want to see how that works out. I've never had that situation with them before. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens with the Tin Yankee. Outside of that, let's see if we can reinforce some more ships, and then we'll get to some other matters in the galaxy here. And so with our second base up, I think we can probably squeeze away with... I'm going to hold off on adding any more anchorages until we actually catch up to our naval cap, but I am going to start adding some hydroponic bays to these bases because I don't have a lot of planets just yet. And the ones I do have, I don't want to build these agricultural districts just yet. And so I'm trying to look at ways to increase the stability on this planet. And I didn't realize I had indentured servitude species on my worlds. And so now I want to maybe look into, you know, let's get those chamber of elevations. I feel like the more of our primary species we have, the better. And on top of that, having robots in the mix could be kind of fun as well. And so here we have our Minister of Defense that has a trait available. And I'm going to go with this one, the Eye for Talent, since this character is on the council. Look at that leader experience gain modifier. We'll hit OK on that, and let's keep this thing going. And so 21 years into the game, let's check out this empire over here on the top side of our borders, and it looks like they are still pretty weary of us. And so I'm actually going to... From now on, renowned leaders can contact us. Excellent. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start first contact here with the species down here. Because I have an idea. If we can potentially subjugate this empire, that would be great. That'd be super great. And I want to use these... I'm going to imagine there's some sort of like marauder type empire. But yeah, if we can use their fleet powers, we definitely will give that a shot. All right, so we got a lot of things happening here. We're starting to research a lot of tech. We got leaders that are getting traits. Here's Natu Aku. Once again, empire effects as a counselor would be pretty good. Let's go with that edict upkeep from the charisma trait. Back down here, we got a situation we can research with one of my construction ships, and we'll get that squared away as well. And so still no other signs of other intelligent empires out here. Let's see, we got another science ship. Let's see, what can we do with you? There's a few projects up here towards the top of the galaxy, and so we're gonna go ahead and get these researched as well. All of them. And so there's literally just one lane going up towards the top. We're just going to research everything along the way. In the meantime, though, I'm going to go ahead and grab my fleets here. And we're going to go ahead and move our way down to this system. And I want to take over another planet. We got to add it to our corporation here. And so I'm looking for some Necro-Corp expansion. This will be our first planet outside of our sector. And yeah, here, oh yeah, so back with the Tin Yankee. So we built a lure around the system, and it says the construction of the Tin Yankee Yor and the tie-in Ort system have been completed. Beguiled by the nourishing gases released by the diffuser, the Gravekeepers are lured away from the post, allowing our scientists to slip through their tentacles and approach the burial grounds unnoticed. And so this is going to end the Tin Yankee event chain, and now there is a Tin Yankee grave mound situation. This is a archaeological dig site, and so the surface on Erect Vol is entirely covered in the remains of dead Tin Yankee. Our sensors detect no signs of life, and yet the corpse still writhe and squirm as if animated by a indestructible force. Yo, I want to research this. And so we're gonna get to work on this right away. And yeah, I gotta know what happens. Cool stuff there. And so our planets are looking pretty stable, like, or maybe just my home world, but the other worlds, we're working on getting those under control. I need more pops here. And so here we have a mass extinction situation. This is another one. This is the Molten World. I think we were planning on researching this a while ago. It says the unfortunate fate of the planet can be laid squarely at the feet of cosmic whims. Some gravitational disturbances. After eyeing the system's sun with some suspicion, our scientists named a transient space-time anomaly as the likely culprit. Forced the planet from its natural orbit to one much too close to the sun. Although the planet is slowly spiraling out towards its original orbit, it has been cooking in the residual heat from the star ever since. And so, okay on this, and we have now researched another pretty much destroyed world. All right, and so the Chai aliens, we have a clear signal. We're trying to figure out who these marauder species are. It looks like their system, they have 3 systems under their control. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and select our leader's last trait here. This is one of our governors. Let's go with those increased alloys per month. And ladies and gentlemen, tune in. We are going to wrap the stream up here. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful 4th of July. This is our galaxy. This is the Necro-Corp. We've done some expansion around the sort of outside of the galaxy. We got some sort of hostile ships towards the inside of our borders. Oops, did I take the right screenshot? I did not. Yes, and so these are our borders. We have a somewhat hostile species towards us up here towards the top. The Albion Sovereignty, and so right now they're kind of wary towards us. I was trying to increase my relations towards them, but yeah, it looks like right now the relationship is a little negative towards us. And so tune in for the next stream. We're going to be streaming tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time zone, continuing this Necro-Corp run. We're about 23 years into this game, and so nice little start here, but I want you guys to vote on what my first tradition should be. And so I will be proposing some options, and you guys will be able to vote for that. But yeah, tune in, and I would love to see you guys come back. If you enjoyed the stream so much, please leave a like, leave a comment below of some things you would maybe like to see me do a little bit differently. If there are some things that I can improve on, let me know. I'm always open to some criticism. And yeah, until then, Alpha out.